You gotta sound intelligent, even though
Yeah.
you might not be the most intelligent on this subject.
Right.
That's a skill, honestly.
Right.
That's something I'd never really think about audiobook is like you gotta sound like
Yep.
you're an expert,
Yeah.
but you're not an expert. That's called like manipulation of everybody's like, because when you listen to audio, honestly, I don't even think about the person behind the voice. I just think
Right.
about the narration and I'm just hearing the words.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't even think about how much work it was put in from that person. So I think you have definitely had like a more, because honestly, this is the most in-depth stuff I've heard about an audiobook. Like stuff I did not know about, even though I could
Yeah.
figure it's a lot of work, but you definitely have put a more like description of like how that all becomes and how it all works out. And I think it definitely, and I figured like for me, if I was getting into voiceover stuff, I definitely knew audiobooks would probably not be the best thing for me, but you're good at it. But the way you describe is like, I do not want to nitpick everything I read.
Yeah. I
Which
mean,
honestly, props to you for being good at that all the time.
thank you.
Jeez. But and like I said, but you probably have read some fun books though that
So yeah, so I have read fun. So I would say this the most fun that I've had. Again, this was another kids, but it was a kids adventure, and and what made it fun, or at least the way that I read it was an adventure book where this a kid fell in the hole. Again, I'm trying to remember the name off the top of my head, but I can't remember it. But anyway, a kid fell in the hole. He was just a regular kid, and he went searching. He fell in the hole, and all of a sudden, he went on this adventure where he's fighting monsters. He's scavenging, trying to find weapons. He found a weapon. He's killing monsters and everything like that. So the way that I presented this particular book was that when everything is calm and he's exploring, I'm talking normally, at a normal pace. But then when there's a fight, there's adventure and tension, and now I have to read faster. And that's how I brought the tension out of this particular book. So when you're hearing it, it's not sound effects per se, but I'm trying to bring a a a, a tense and adventure to when there's action scenes. And it's sporadically, is sporadically laid throughout the novel as he's going deeper and deeper into the cave and, trying to find a way out, of course, but it's adventure. He's trying to, find out what's going on and what's all this. So that's particularly how I did it. Everybody has their method, or they could read it even keel the whole way. That's just the way that I wanted to perform this particular book. I wanted to have fun with it. And like you said, even if we're talking about the most boring, mundane book, again, you want to make sure that you sound interested, because a person that obviously bought the book bought it for a reason. So why not have fun with it? No matter how dry that book is, they bought it. They paid you. Why not bring your best? So that's just me.
yeah, good point. I mean, I feel like if I had to do a kid's book, it's a kid listening to it, right? And a kid likes that entertainment, that excitement.
Yeah.
I'm sure like kids might not pay too much attention about the steady of the voice, but
Well,
you
maybe
put it
not.
all out for a performance. Why not?
Yeah.
It's like it's a kid's book. You got to have fun with it. Kids like being entertained, and usually like it's a world. Like I said, it's like that world. Kind of sounds like an Alice in Wonderland type feel
Yeah. Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
those Magic Treehouse books. I don't know if you remember those.
Not off
Like
the
they
top of
go in
my
a
head.
treehouse and then they
Okay.
just go on into an adventure. They either go to the medieval times or the
Oh, okay.
Egyptians. Like I never really like. I think I read a few of them, but there was like a kid book series called Magic Treehouse or something like that.
Okay.
It's just like they go in a treehouse and it brings them to a different point of time. So that kind of
Oh,
reminds me
okay.
what the story you described kind of reminds
Yeah.
me. He goes in a hole, he goes to this
Yep.
like fantasy world with monsters.
Yep.
So, but I feel like you with a story like that, you gotta bring the enthusiasm.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah.